Topping today's news, the Commissioner of Police shares a little bit about what they are finding in regards to drug smuggling in the country. Deputy Prime Minister Cooper and F&M leader Pintard exchange views on how the late Don Saunders was used in the F&M. Former Cabinet Minister Renwood Wells makes a public appearance. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez says police are uncovering a network of drug trafficking that continues to fuel gang wars here in the country, with traffickers mainly targeting the southern Bahamas. Last week, police seized over 860 pounds of cocaine valued at $7.5 million during a drug bust in Mayaguana. Now, Commissioner Fernandez says police are analyzing a developing pattern in similar drug seizures that have taken place recently.
You have seen an increase coming from that southern area. You note not only this, the second one, Mayaguana, in the last couple of months that occurred there in Mayaguana, and also in Long Island, coming down the stretch there in Long Island, you see two incidents, large seizure making its way down here, but we are paying attention. The commanders were on the various family islands. They are alert and they are on their game.
Commissioner Fernandez says the Bahamas Drug Enforcement Unit is working with the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, to gather intelligence leading to many successful seizures and arrests. Police Commissioner Fernandez has made it clear that he intends to rid the Royal Bahamas Police Force of rogue police officers who themselves break the law and abuse their power. From the courts on Thursday, former police constable Mario Newbold was convicted of drug possession with the intent to supply when he appeared before Magistrate Samuel McKinney. Newbold was found in possession of 3 kilos of cocaine at the Lyndon Penley International Airport. That was in August of 2018 on a flight from North Eleuthera. Newbold was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. Members of the House of Assembly returned on Wednesday, and during the period used to extend condolences to the family of the late Donald Saunders, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, who, like Mr. Saunders, is a native of Exuma, suggested that Mr. Saunders' talents were overlooked and underused in the Minutes administration.
Whilst I take the high road, I would be remiss if I did not say Don could have done more had he been given more to do. In my opinion, his talents were unfortunately overlooked during the last administration, which I've always found regrettable and unfortunate. Despite that, Don was a passionate soldier in the F&M's army and was loyal to his party even in its darkest hours.
Leader of the official opposition, Michael Pintard, gently rebuffed the comments made by DPM Cooper, noting that Mr. Saunders was committed to the Free National Movement despite what was suggested by Mr. Cooper.
Don was committed to the Free National Movement, and even when there were opportunities that many thought was most suited for him and he was not selected for those opportunities, he never wavered in his commitment to our organization. He was committed to service first, and he saw the Free National Movement as a vehicle that could deliver better for the Bahamian people. And if that did not improve his personal fortunes, that was secondary to the fortunes of Bahamians who he ultimately signed up to serve.
Again, police have 3 men in custody who are assisting them in their investigation into Mr. Saunders' shooting death in Gambia Village. No formal charges have been made as police gather more evidence to strengthen their case. Last week, there was much concern by well-wishers and supporters of former Minister of Health, Renwood Wells, who was reportedly rushed to hospital after experiencing health issues initially believed to be heart-related, but later described by those close to him as effects from severe exhaustion. Well, today, Mr. Wells made a public appearance at the University of the Bahamas for the book signing occasion of his former cabinet colleague, Jeff Lloyd. Mr. Wells declined to make any comments about his health, but as seen in the photo here, he appears to be in good spirits and in good health as well. Many are waiting to see if Mr. Wells offers himself for a post in the F&M's upcoming national convention. And finally, in this segment, former Minister of Education, Jeffrey Lloyd, wrote a book and released it today. The book is entitled Journey of Hope, that speaks about his life from a young age to the accomplishments of his older years. Mr. Lloyd says that it is imperative that we tell people our story so they don't have to tell it for us.
Writing our story, dear friends, is a requirement in a society that hands on its tradition to the succeeding generation. When I came home from college in 1974, the PLP at the time, working at ZNS, had a project led by the late Earl Thompson of going throughout the country and capturing the history of our people, going into the various communities, the family islands, and recording with the older people what life was like back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. I don't know where that particular project is today. But it is crucial that we record and transmit understanding the vicissitudes of life in our country.
Former Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, was also in attendance and says it is his pleasure to read a book authored by his own companion.
We have developed a mutual respect and fondness for each other that recognizes a number of things, but for me it is his tremendous commitment and love for the country that we call the Bahamas. And so I look forward to reading this, I believe, what will be a seminal piece. I promise you I won't just put it on my nightstand and use it to fall asleep, but to learn about this fella from Kemp Road, to learn about, his journey from those modest beginnings to where he now stands.
The book is available at Logos Bookstore, and you can also find it online. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.